Hello everybody, here is Marta from Eqclusive. Thank you so much for joining me at the webinar today. I can't wait to share my knowledge with you and hopefully to answer some of your questions that you had for some time now. So who we are, where I'm coming from, and why did we start the company. So my name is Marta Kotonska and I'm the owner and inventor of Eqclusive. How did that happen? When I was 11 years old, I started riding horses, and very, very quickly, I absolutely fell in love with them. And my family was going through quite a tough time, but it's not the topic for today. And with that, I started to really quickly talk to horses, understand what they are saying to me, and build a really good connection with them. After my first horse that I've been riding died quite suddenly, I've decided to become a professional groom because I knew that I would not be able to ride on a professional level as I was going to high school. And with that, I really wanted to dedicate my time to horses and somehow make money out of it. So I became a professional groom and very quickly was going to quite a lot of championships also on a European level. With that, I had 10 horses that I really needed to take care of, and there was no shiners, there was no sprays at that time, and I really needed to groom them properly to a very high standard. How did I do it? I'll tell you all about it in this webinar. Eqclusive, so the idea for the business has been in my head pondering for the last 10 years, but I've only got the guts to do it only last year in April, started in April 2015. And within months, the company became very successful just due to the fact that we were going out, doing demonstrations, showing the product that have not been on the market in UK, and really ensuring that people understand what the products we are offering, why we're offering them, and what is the quality of them. Very quickly, people start responding to that very positively, and we've gone since then. The last few months have been absolutely amazing as we've managed to get the biggest growth ever. So I'm extremely proud to say that last month by itself we've grown 500%. So what we're gonna do today? Today we're gonna be talking about grooming because that was the topic. So the topic of today's webinar is self-care grooming tips and advice. How to take care of your horses in the most healthy and the best way for them. So we're going to talk about how horses groom each other, why they groom each other, also about the bathing, grooming, brushing, as well as the natural oils, the types of coats that they have, and anything else that will pop to your mind. You can always ask me any question. In terms of the grooming that horses do to each other while they live in a natural habitat, horses show how they like each other, their love to each other by grooming. They say the very famous quote, "If you scratch me, I'll scratch you back." And very often is used also for people. And that's how it works for them. Horses get to know each other, they smell each other first, then they start grooming. If one horse lets another groom each other, that means, okay, we can be friends. It's very, very, very similar with people. Horses need to start to trust you to let them groom them. Quite a lot of horses don't understand why you want to groom them, why you're not a horse and you want to scratch me, so you really need to introduce that quite slowly or from a very, very young age. Also, you need to understand the behaviors of horses when you groom them. So quite a lot of people are not aware that maybe when a horse is walking around you when you are grooming them, actually that's how they show that they want you to scratch them more. People don't understand that when a horse is turning on them when you groom them, that actually they are thanking you in some way. They want to groom you back and say, thank you for grooming me, I really am enjoying it. So there's been quite a lot of things that horses do in their own behavior when they are being groomed. So first of all is when you first time brush your horse or try to groom it in any way using very, very soft brush or even your hand, horses might turn on you, start smelling you because they will not understand why a person, not a horse, is actually grooming them. With that, be very gentle, just respond to anything they do. If they move, just stand in one place, let them walk around you, they will stop, go back to them and start again. When horses are starting to nibble you, don't let them actually nibble you, but if they just only touching you like that, just leave them to it because actually they are thanking you. With time, I promise you, they will stop doing it and they will be more interested in the hay and the food around them than yourself, because they'll understand actually not a horse. I don't need to thank them so much. When it comes to nibbling and stuff like that, don't let them do it. Use the voice, and I can assure you that would be enough. Unless a horse has been really mistreated, then please feel free to drop us a message. We'll be more than happy to help you how to handle those. So those behaviors, you know, you really need to put the boundaries. It's like for children, what to allow, what you're not allowing. And with that, then you can actually start them brushing properly. So brushing is an important part of actually getting to know your horse, understand what they think, how they react to you, if they trust you or not. So it's, in my opinion, a fundamental way to start getting to know your new horse or the horse that maybe you just bought or starting to learn or ride. So what to understand is that there are 3 different types of coats that horses have. So we'll start with the darkest one and go into the lightest. So the dark base and black horses, even though they feel very, very soft, some of them feel more coarser all the time. You need to really check on their legs, their coat, to really understand what the coat is like. We bath them so much, we do quite a lot of things, we put drags on them, so the coat is changing, but on their legs you will always manage to find actually the real coat that they have. So if you touch the legs in any point, it's the best to touch it, you know, on more round things so you actually can feel the hair better. With that, go with the hair and against the hair, and you will notice that the dark horses and black horses, dark bay horses, actually have a really coarse hair compared to other horses. Why? The reason for that is that they actually need to protect themselves from the environment, from the sun, from everything that is around them. What is happening? Their coat is actually in triangles, and the triangles are on top of each other just to protect them from the sunlight. Also, those type of horses have a very, very oily skin. The reason for that is to protect themselves again from the sun and also environment. On the other hand, they also sweat a lot. The reason for that, that's how they control their temperature. The reason behind that, is that because they are so dark, their coat is getting warmer much quicker, so they need to sweat more and actually control the temperature by that. So with that, if the horses are not brushed properly, their pores are clogged up. With that, there is quite a lot of skin conditions that happen to them. They itch quite a lot. They constantly scratch themselves. They lose the mane, they lose the tail. So really, it's important to groom them properly. Next type of horses are the light base and the chestnuts. Those type of horses have the softest coat ever. What happens with that coat, because it's so soft, it's actually like a dust magnet. With those type of coats, you really, really need to take care of it to ensure that actually you can get the shine out of them. Some of them, they can look very shiny, but with the right brushes, you can really make sure that they are even more shinier. They don't really have a lot of skin conditions unless they have a white mane and tail. So it's really easy to take care of those horses. The only problem is to actually get this dust out of them. Next type of horses are the white and gray colored horses. Some of the dams, the lighter ones, and also some of the palominos. Those type of horses have a very, very soft hair with the hair, but against the hair, they are very, very coarse. The reason for that, it's the same reason as it is with the black horses with the coarseness. They are protecting themselves from the environment. from the sun, because their skin is light, and because it's light and the light coat, the sun can get through really, really easily. It's like with all the people in Britain, you know, they get really red very quickly. It's the same with them. They can get burned very quickly. That's the reason why they have a coarse coat. But with that, there comes the problems. The same like black horses get really itchy, but they have different ideas of how to get rid of that itch. Usually, because they are quite light, they want to cover themselves with something darker. So it's the mud. It's just, again, to protect themselves with the wee-wees, with the poos, so all the kind of stable stains and the field stains is what they love. And with that, it's really hard to clean them. So again, you really need to ensure that the brushing is one of the routines and you using the right brushes. So we talked about those kind of types of coats. With that, some of you already might know, I actually invented the right packs for each of those coats. And those packs are available on our website. You can read about them. There's plenty of reviews on our Facebook, on our pages, so feel free to look through them, read them all. There's heaps of information there, but if you have any questions, just let us know as well. We'll be more than happy to help. So now we start grooming our horses by brushing them. What most of the people do is bath them. What happens when we bath them? We actually dry their coats. So for horses that need quite a lot of oil, for the black horses and stuff like that, they absolutely is the worst thing that you could do for horses. We know people add fairy liquid and stuff like that. You actually dry that coat even more. So it's a massive difference that you do to that coat, and quite a lot of people don't really understand it. It's the same as with us when we go to water, when we go anywhere to the pool, our skin gets really, really dry. So because we just lose the natural oil, it's the same with the horses. So please remember about that. And always choose brushing instead of bathing. Natural oil. So like I've already tried to explain to you, different horses have different natural oils that they produce. The reason for that is it depends on the coat that they have, the color of it, the structure, of course, because that's the main important thing. It's not really the color, it's the structure, and that's how I constructed our packs. So that's really important. And with that, if you feel that your horse's coat is too dry and anything, try to use any natural oil, use it for a week and let it go. You don't want to do it too much. The reason for that is they will stop producing their own oil. So really important to actually not overdo it. And if you want any suggestions, any help, feel free to pick up the phone or drop us an email as well. We have an amazing range called Your Horse that is specially designed only with natural oils, so it really, really helps your horses with the coat, with the mane and tail. So feel free to ask us questions or look on our blog to read more about it. In terms of shedding, so we've bathed, we've groomed, we've taken care of the natural oils, the shedding is always happening. So it comes the season again, and we have the really good tool which is called Sleek Easy. It's like a metal curry comb, but actually it is amazing for taking care of the shedding hair. It doesn't cut any hair, it doesn't take out the good hair, so it's amazing for really just taking care of the shedding hair. So if you have any questions for me, feel free to ask me now. I'll just wait a second. Nobody is. No one to ask me, they are too scared. Okay. If you are too scared to ask, feel free to drop us an email or pick up the phone. And I hope you've enjoyed the webinar, and I'll hopefully see you very, very soon. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll speak to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.